So as a crypto guy, what would you say to somebody who thinks this is a bad time? Why is it a good time for you guys?
Well, we actually analyze every crypto, well, not every cryptocurrency, the major cryptocurrencies on a milestone basis. So in different month periods, we actually predict kind of what prices each coin is going to go. And over the long run, it gets harder and harder to analyze, obviously. Even with the coronavirus fears and we don't know when people are coming back, it's getting harder to project almost any asset. But if you do have a thesis that the dollar is going to decrease in value compared to other currencies, if you go by that thesis, Bitcoin will eventually, should go up in the long term. Cryptocurrencies as a whole, we can get into that. It's a whole ecosystem out there. Also, it starts benefiting from the decentralization of governments and their policies as well.
Okay, and so today's April 20th, 2020. What's the price of Bitcoin today?
It's about 6,800, I believe.
6,800. Do you consider it high or low?
I consider it at the right price. I'll tell you what our newsletter said. We predicted Bitcoin to be $10,000 by May because of it's a thing called the halvening. That's happening in May. Yeah, the halvening. It's a joke because halvening is not really the word. But the inflation for Bitcoin is going to get cut in half. So based off our newsletter, we have milestone-based price points. We thought $10,000 by May. So it actually hit $10,000 in February. So we were like, okay, well, here we are, we've reached our point, what happens next? After oil crashed in March, it crashed again today to negatives, but when it crashed in March, all the capital came out of Bitcoin. That was a great opportunity again to put your money in. I predict though, that after the halvening, there will be less mining incentive. So if the inflation is cut, there's less infrastructure to support the system because it's just not gonna be break even. Okay, so I do think, I just wanna say Bitcoin is gonna go down, I think in May, is my prediction.
It's going to go down. Well, that's good news.
Yeah. So in May, there will be a correction that is a good place to get in, is my, just my opinion.
Right. That's all this. And by the way, Rich Dad makes no recommendations. We don't say buy this or sell that or do this or do that. We're a purely educational company. So we have our producer here, Sarah, and she doesn't trust you guys. So Sarah, what question do you have to ask?
Jeff, I trust you wholeheartedly. I don't understand. So you have to understand I'm asking these questions out of pure ignorance. So 2 years ago, I know Bitcoin was around 20,000. I want to say like it was around that peak. And I was telling Robert that I don't understand. It's as volatile to me as the stock market. So you really have to play the same kind of game as the stock market. And so I'm not understanding where's this benefit? Where, if I were an investor looking to buy Bitcoin?
Yeah, so I don't think Bitcoin itself as a currency. It's not something that I would go out and spend it. There's just too many problems with the volatility. There's actually very slow transaction speeds. For me, what I look at is the technology itself, how that can be applied to other use cases in the world, which we'll go into, I'm sure, later. And that is where I look. So I don't actually have that much Bitcoin. I actually look at Ethereum. I look at the decentralized finance projects of where Ethereum's going. And there's a lot of startups that are trying to scale blockchain technology as well that I look into also. So as an investor in Bitcoin, I would just put that as a diversification piece. I wouldn't say that's like something to go all in, that I'm going to use it to spend as a global currency. That's not the case.
So you wouldn't invest in it because it's going to go to 100,000?
I do not think it's going to go to 100,000.
I understand that, but you wouldn't use that logic. Because that's what people do.
Not the logic.
Yeah, but see, people do that with silver and gold. People are, like they're calling for $50,000 gold and $20,000 silver. And that sucks a lot of people in.
Yep.
So what would you say to that? So somebody says Bitcoin's going to 100,000. Why would you say that's a bad idea or you wouldn't touch it?
I can give a few data points as to what happens with the other countries that have currency crashes. They actually fled to Bitcoin as a safe haven because it's one way to get out, right? You could buy Bitcoin, it holds its currency against the USD. And then if their currency goes hyperinflation, they still have some digital asset that can be traded. Although again, it's just on a USB drive or it's on a piece of paper, but at least they can flood to that as a safe haven. With gold and silver, it's actually kind of hard to trade it for some people globally. With Bitcoin, it's 24/7, you can trade it whenever you want. So that's where I say is kind of the difference between gold and silver. In terms of what is backing Bitcoin, mainly it's kind of the trading volume and then the entrance, it's a fiat gateway into other cryptocurrencies.
So I'll let you take over from here because you guys are way over my head. I have some Ethereum. What is Ethereum?
So Ethereum takes blockchain technology and it added a concept called smart contracts. So basically, I could create a smart contract between you and me, Robert. It's just a auditable piece of code that we can send money to. And let's say you're paying me salary, $100 a week for whatever, just be on the phone to call you. So you can just put in $10,000 in this smart contract and it'll automatically pay me. There'll be no bank in between. There's nothing in between at all. Me and you could just operate on this small little piece of code that does any mainstream thing. So people took that concept and they built entire applications on it. So entire applications that can do almost anything. It's a little bit slow right now, so it's not shown any real value in the world yet, but the advancements of Ethereum 2.0, which are coming later this year, are trying to remedy that problem.
Okay. So when we come back, we'll let Jeff continue on, talk about what he knows about, especially what happens if we go to U.S. Federal Reserve crypto or Chinese crypto and all that, because that's kind of the rumors I hear out there in the market. And so my question is, why buy Bitcoin or Ethereum if everybody can manufacture it? So when we come back, we'll be talking to Jeff Wang. Again, he's a second appearance on Rich Dad, and he's our go-to guy when I need to know what the hell's going on with the cyber world. We'll be right back. Welcome back, Robert Kiyosaki, the Rich Dad Radio Show, the good news and bad news about crypto. Anyway, you can listen to Rich Dad anytime, anywhere on iTunes or Android and YouTube. And please leave us a review whenever you listen. And once again, all of our podcasts are archived at richdadradio.com. And we archive it there because repetition is how we learn better. So this is a very important subject called the crypto world of of money, because that's where we're going, like it or not. So you can listen to this program again at richdadradio.com, but most importantly, you have friends, family, or business associates listen to this and discuss it to open up people's minds. Once again, we do not recommend you buy, sell, or trade. We don't make no commissions on any of this stuff, which is purely educational. So our guest today is Jeff Wang. He's the second appearance of the Rich Dad Show. He's the host of rocketfuelcrypto.com, and part of the Avid investment group. Rocket Fuel team has invested over 40 blockchain projects. So he's more an investor in this whole world. And he's a technologist from Cisco, Salesforce, and has recently joined the automation startup Tonken, Tonken, which announced a $24 million raise last week, and has also filed 2 blockchain patents in the last year. So this guy knows what he's talking about, so he's not like me, just sitting around trying to make a few bucks here. So Jeff, my concern as an old guy is what's to prevent everybody from just coming out with their own crypto? Like, what's this? Facebook has that. What do they have now?
Libra.
What the hell is that?
So it might help to kind of talk about the advancements of cryptocurrency through the years. 2017, 2018, when we saw the heights of the bubble, we saw it was like a year of speculation. People thought this technology would change the world, but no one really knew why. So all these startups came up to fruition. They had initial coin offerings, ICOs. People had this value creation from thin air, from just ideas, from just white paper, right? But money did fly into the ecosystem. A lot of smart people were in there making these startups. And then 2019 hit, we kind of figured out, well, is there a product market fit? Nobody is really going to use this if it comes out, right? So a lot of money then came out of crypto. So right now, there's the only form of investing in crypto right now that's popular is the initial exchange offering, the IEO. And those are still very profitable, and that's stuff we talk about in the newsletter. But right now is a globalization on this technology. Just this year, the World Economic Forum published the CBDC framework. CBDC stands for Central Bank Digital Currency. So it actually is teaching all these countries how to make their own cryptocurrencies. China has been ahead of the curve the whole time. They are coming out with theirs this year, very likely. They already have a pilot out. Theirs is called DECP, Digital Currency Electronic Payment, DCEP. So I know you wanted to say something. I'll pause there.
No. I mean, so my limited experience, the reason I like gold and silver, it